The film begins in the French city of Paris, where a Chinese secret policeman named Lu Jian has just landed to help the local police catch a dangerous Chinese drug dealer named Mr. Big who has connections with France. During the mission in France, Lu lives with an old man named Uncle Tai.
How long are you planning on staying?
Not very long.
That night, Lu went to a hotel, where several people were waiting for him. Lu was then taken to the kitchen to meet a Parisian police inspector named Richard. Long story short, Lu was assigned to help Richard and his men, keeping an eye on the situation when Mr. Big visited the hotel.
You came all the way from China to keep an eye on us.
To help you.
Yes, of course. Welcome to Paris, Johnny.
That same night, Mr. Big had entered the hotel with his accomplices and 2 prostitutes. Mr. Big then headed to his room accompanied by the 2 women. Lu was then directed to a room where Richard and his men were monitoring Mr. Big through surveillance cameras installed in the room booked by Mr. Big. Lu senses something is wrong when he sees one of the female prostitutes trying to stab Mr. Big during sex. Despite fighting off the mob boss's henchmen, Lu rushes to Mr. Big's room. He is finally able to break in and secure the female prostitutes before killing Mr. Big. But then, Richard enters the room and orders his men to stop filming. When Lu intended to take Mr. Big to the hospital, Richard shot Mr. Big and the female prostitute. Meanwhile, the incident when Richard shot Mr. Big was still recorded because his men had not had time to turn off the camera.
Why did you kill him?
The question is, why did you kill him?
Richard had apparently planned to frame Lu for the murder incident from the start. Lu then escaped from there, but Richard immediately mobilized all his men to catch him. On the other hand, Lu apparently returned to the surveillance camera room and stole the video footage showing Richard killing Mr. Big to prove his innocence. After that, he rushed to escape from the hotel, but Richard's men had surrounded the place and attacked him from various sides. Lu was almost trapped when Richard threw a grenade at him. However, he quickly threw the grenade back at Richard's men. Despite being ganged up by Richard's mostly armed men, Lu can face them all thanks to his formidable self-defense skills. When Lu arrived at the hotel lobby, a man dressed as a pilot immediately shot him with bullets. But Lu managed to dodge and seize the opportunity when the man was caught off guard and killed him. Richard seemed very upset when he found out that Lu had managed to take the surveillance camera footage showing him killing Mr. Big. The corrupt and violent police detective then ordered all his men to hunt down Lou throughout the city of Paris before he revealed the surveillance camera footage to his superior. Elsewhere, Lou, who managed to escape from Richard and his men, looks confused while in the middle of Paris. He remembered to check his necklace if he was in a state of urgency like this. He found a piece of paper with a name and a series of numbers. Not understanding what it meant, he tried to find out by asking a woman who worked at the information center. The woman then said that the name was the name of a train station and showed him the way. He arrived at the station and found a locker and opened it using a code on a series of numbers written on paper. Lou found a cell phone in the locker. It didn't stop there. He also found a series of other numbers on the back of the cell phone, which was a code to open another locker. On the other hand, there were 2 security guards chatting near Lou, and when Lou opened the other locker, which turned out to be full of weapons, the 2 officers saw it. Suddenly, Lou immediately ran away from there before the situation got worse. The next day, the representative from China, Minister Tang, came to Paris and met with the French Minister of Defense to discuss the chaos at the hotel. On that occasion, Richard revealed false information to the minister and representatives from China about Lou being the mastermind behind Mr. Big and a female prostitute at the hotel. Richard had even prepared a weapon with Lou's fingerprints as evidence. In the middle of the meeting, Minister Tang's assistant, Chen, got a call from Lou saying that he had found an emergency phone. But he said that he would call back without revealing his identity as the caller. Even so, Richard, who was suspicious from the start, ordered his men to follow Minister Tang and his assistants wherever they went and tap their phones. After returning to his office, Richard was furious to learn that Lou had not been found. Screaming angrily, he ordered his men to find him tonight. After his men left, a woman named Jessica was seen entering Richard's office. The woman asks Richard to free her daughter, as she has done all his orders. However, Richard and his men instead force-fed Jessica with heroin. After that, she was taken to the streets where she used to work as a prostitute, and forced to work by Lupo, a pimp. It didn't stop there. Lupo even beat her when she tried to rebel. Unexpectedly, Lou, who happened to live not far from there, saw Jessica, who was being beaten by Richard's men. Seeing the commotion there, Uncle Tai tried to drive Lupo and his men away, but Lou stopped him. After Lupo and his men left, Jessica came to him and asked permission to use the toilet at his house. Not long after, Lou got a call from Chen asking him to meet him on a ferry within the next hour. Arriving at the port, Lou then boarded the ferry and met with Chen. However, unbeknownst to him, Richard's men had apparently been watching their movements from a distance. Lou then revealed the truth to Chen and handed him a tape containing surveillance camera footage that proved that he was not the killer. But after that, Richard's men shot Chen and attacked them both in the crowd. With his excellent fighting skills, Lou could defeat Richard's men and escape into the sewers. He managed to eliminate the trail of Richard and his men when they entered the subway. After that, Richard went to Minister Tang and handed over Chen's belongings. But before that, Richard had taken the surveillance camera tape from the hotel. When he got home, Lou tried to treat his wound by himself. Uncle Ty suggested that he go to the hospital, but he refused. Seeing Lou, who was injured, Jessica took the initiative to treat his wound. While stitching up Lou's wound, Jessica talked about herself being forced by Richard to become a prostitute. It was revealed that Jessica was one of the prostitutes who came to the hotel to entertain Mr. Big. Before long, Lupo came to Uncle Ty's place and dragged Jessica away, forcing her to work. Lupo even asked Lou for compensation for taking up Jessica's time, even though she was supposed to be working for Lupo. Lou then gave Lupo 1,000 francs. When Lupo was about to hit Jessica, Lou immediately stopped him until Lou got into a fight with Lupo and his men. When Lou seems overwhelmed by Lupo's bulky henchman, Max, one of Richard's men, reports the chaos involving Lupo and Jessica. It didn't take long for Max to come there and strafe Uncle Ty's residence with bullets, killing the old man. Seeing Uncle Ty die in front of his eyes, Lou killed Max using chopsticks. After taking care of Uncle Ty's body, he and Jessica rushed out of there before the rest of Richard's men caught them. Lou and Jessica appeared to be arguing when he forced Jessica to confess to prove that he was not the one who killed Mr. Big. However, Jessica refused because she thought about the safety of Isabel, her daughter who was held hostage by Richard. Lou and Jessica finally agreed to save Isabel first, after which Jessica would testify in Lou's defense. After that, Jessica went to Richard in his office and told him all the incidents involving Lou. Jessica admitted that Lou had taken her hostage and she managed to escape. She then told Richard the location of Lou's whereabouts. After receiving information from Jessica, Richard handcuffed her in his office while he and his men went to arrest Lou. After distracting one of Richard's men who were assigned to watch her, Jessica finally managed to free herself and retrieved the surveillance camera tape that Richard kept in his office. She hurriedly ran away and handed the tape to Lou, who was waiting for her outside. On the other hand, Richard received news from his men that Jessica had run away. Lou and Jessica then head to the orphanage where Isabel is being held by Richard. However, when they arrived at the orphanage, Lou and Jessica were surprised by the appearance of Richard and his men who were already there because he had predicted that they would definitely look for Isabel. The fight between Lou and Richard's men suddenly caused an uproar in the orphanage. Unable to find Isabel, Lou and Jessica eventually escaped through the window. But unlucky, Jessica was shot by one of Richard's men, so Lou had to immediately rush her to the hospital to save her life. While Jessica was being treated at the hospital, Lou promised to save Isabel. Meanwhile, Isabel is seen being held hostage by Richard in his office. The next day, Lou called Richard and said he wanted Isabel back. After that, he asked Richard to appear at the window. Seeing Lou standing on the side of the road, Richard ordered all his men to fight him. After learning of Richard's whereabouts, Lou broke into the police headquarters and confronted the police. When he saw many policemen arriving from above, he entered a room. But apparently in that room, several policemen were doing self-defense exercises. Suddenly they all attacked Lou. But Lou managed to beat them with his very great fighting ability. When Lou entered another room, he had to face off against two of Richard's men, who were the toughest and had nearly as much martial skill like him. At first he was quite overwhelmed with them. However, slowly but surely, he managed to kill them. After overthrowing Richard's most formidable subordinate, Lou finally confronted Richard, who held Isabel hostage at gunpoint. Even though Lou was unarmed, he told Richard that if he killed Isabel, then he would not hesitate to kill him in the most painful way. Richard tried to kill Lou, but he only shot him in the shoulder. However, at the same time, Lou stabbed acupuncture needles into the back of Richard's neck, precisely at the location known as the kiss of the dragon, where it would stimulate all blood flow in the body to travel to the brain and would cause painful death due to a brain aneurysm. Instantly, Richard's body became stiff and could not move. After that, Lou pulled out the needle and Richard's body seemed to be shaking violently and bleeding from his mouth, nose, ears, and eyes.
Can you wait outside? I'm a friend of your mom.
Goodbye, mister.
You're really a smart guy, Johnny boy.
My name is not Johnny.
Richard finally died from a kiss of the dragon, attacked just as Lou took Isabel away. The film ends when Lou returns to the hospital and removes acupuncture needles from Jessica's neck, waking her up immediately. After waking up, Jessica seemed very happy to find Isabel sleeping peacefully by her side. The lesson we can take from this film is that a traitor will, sooner or later, be rewarded for the betrayal he has committed. Likewise, the good that we do for others with all our hearts will get a reward that may be doubled.